Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, quick to his right, gets to the 20. He's at the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks the third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 15, the 10. He dies. Touchdown, 49ers.
7-11's 27-yard line. 49ers into the backfield. Gets on third down. He'll take it himself for first down. And more. Alex Smith gets in. Touchdown.
His left hip. Third down. Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in the post, and it's good. Touchdown. Touchdown 49. But it's second down. Ryan takes the snap, goes to slant to the left side. It's Russell, intercepted. The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for a touchdown. No greater redemption.
Kaepernick keeps it. Hold everybody. Colin Kaepernick. What a game. Touchdown.
Yeah. Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back. We're here to bring you guys a feel-good Friday freestyle show, man. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So we're going to get down to a lot of talk about the 49ers, and we're going to try to avoid a certain conversation. I actually have a little over-under on 17 minutes to see how far we can go without mentioning a certain position group, okay? But before we get into all that, I got to talk to my man, Tony. Tony, what's going on, Playboy? How you doing, man?
What's up, Mike? How are you?
All is well, man. I mean, look, it's Friday. We did a breaking news show earlier. We're going to get into all that. We're going to dig into that stuff. But, man, we got to talk, man. Like, what's up, man? Like, how's your night? What you getting into this weekend? What's going on? Let me talk to you. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there. I just went out to dinner. I got to work tomorrow. That's pretty much it, man. Just hanging low.
Okay. All right. Laying low, relaxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here. I'm celebrating. It's my final Friday working with the company that I'm at right now. That's right. I got my little cheers going here. You know, final Friday. No more regular, I was going to say 9 to 5 hours for them from now on until Sunday. If my phone rings, it'll be because of an emergency, not because of anything scheduled. And then on Monday, I start the new gig. So I'm excited about that. This weekend, I get the hair done. I got to get the hair done because it's looking a little crazy right now, bro. It's not crazy. It's just not done. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm starting the new gig on Monday. I want to make sure I'm right when I walk in there. And I'm just excited. You know, I'm excited. So let's get to the show.
As you should be.
Yeah, I mean, excited, a little nervous, you know. I mean, the pay is significantly higher. It's got to be a catch, right? Like, it's got to be something like I'm going to walk in and be like, oh, my God. Like, I didn't know I was going to have to, like, you know, dissect octopus for a living. Like, something's going to happen here.
Stop lying. You took the vice president of player personnel position with the 49ers. Just stop. You're replacing Martin Mayhew. Stop bullshitting and just tell them the straightforward.
All right, guys. I'm going to Cali, man. What can I say? I'm going to Cali. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. Just playing, guys. All right, listen. Let's get down to the little, you know, formalities here, and then we're going to get to the show because I don't want to keep you guys all night long. Thanks, everybody, for rocking out with us, all right? If this is your first time here on the YouTube page, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy the show. If you didn't, still hit the like and subscribe button. Also, turn on your notifications. We bring you guys breaking news videos. Real quick, let's talk about these breaking news videos, Tony. We did one today for a re-signing. And there are a lot of people in the comments, why are you guys talking about this guy? He wouldn't have been on the roster if it weren't for injuries in the last 3 weeks of the season. Can you explain to people why we do breaking news videos and what constitutes a breaking news video.
Listen, I mean, do we have to do it? No, but we choose to do it to keep you guys that are in the chat and that follow us up to date and try to explain to you what the move could be, the meaning behind it, what kind of contract it is, how it affects the salary cap, how it affects the depth chart and stuff like that. All we're trying to do is keep the fan base up to date on all the latest news from the San Francisco 49ers. And that's all it comes down to. We're just guys that love talking about the 49ers, love sharing information about the 49ers. It was officially announced, so that's why we did the breaking news, because it's officially signed.
That's right. That's right. And you guys are going to get that. Listen, the team builds all the way up to 90. There are guys who are on the 90 that everyone says isn't going to make the actual roster, who end up making the roster, and vice versa. Okay, so we do the breaking news for any and every piece of news that we can. All right, anything that's officially announced, we break it down for you guys. Okay, so that's what that breaking news segment is for. It's not just for the Niners traded for, I don't know, J.J. Stokes. Like, it's not just news like that. It's not just a big name. Oh, Terrell Davis is coming back and he's going to play for the Niners. It's not about big names. It's about the 49ers making a move. Personnel, front office, any kind of personnel. Okay, so that's why you guys have to have your notifications turned on so you guys can watch us, get those alerts for when we're doing the breaking news videos. Also, give us a follow on Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are nothing but 9 ERS, the number 9, nothing but 9 ERS. And then we have Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitch. That is nothing but Niners, spelled all the way out. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL. He is NJ Niner Fan 499 on Twitter. You guys see it right there. Right there at the bottom of the screen. Right there. So make sure you guys go over there on Twitter and give us follows as well. We like to interact with you guys. But let's get down to business here. Let's get Mike QB1. No, man. No. Although I will say if I was the quarterback, oh shit, I said the position. Didn't even make it 17 minutes. It was 7 minutes.
Well, you made 7.
7. It was 7. But wait, I see that was different. I wasn't talking about like the position itself. So I don't think that counts. I don't think that counts. The Niners signed Craycraft. All right, he signs a 1-year deal. Tony, is this something that we should know? Is this guy just going to blow by the wayside? He was on the roster for a little bit of time this season. He got some playing time. He did punt returns also. What are your thoughts on this young man? And just so you guys can see the beautiful young man signing his beautiful contract. With our beautiful breaking news background, there he is with the beautiful day. 49ers hat it. Yeah, on a beautiful day, somewhere clearly not in the Northeast. There's palm trees in the background. Those are definitely palm trees in the background. So, what are your thoughts on the young man, Craycraft here?
I mean, listen, it's really hard to go full in like on a positional evaluation on him. He was thrown into the fire versus Green Bay. It was him and I think it was not even Kendrick Bourne. It was him and Richie James as the starting receivers that game because Kendrick Bourne was out because he was around Trent Williams because they were roommates, I think, in a hotel or apartment. So he was forced to sit out, even though that was with the big controversy, negative, positive, negative, positive.
Yes, you're right.
Well, I mean, listen, the guy was thrown into the limelight on Sunday night or Monday Night Football. He ran a great route. He dropped the ball in the end zone. Okay, it sucks, yes, but I mean, it is what it is. He's pulled off the street. He wasn't even in the NFL this season before the 49ers pulled him in. But, he is an explosive guy. He's a shifty route runner. He offered some value as a gunner, did some returns. But, I mean, listen, like Mike said, you're filling out the roster right now. We need to get to 90. And these are pieces that you're bringing back that could be key contributors potentially on special teams or it could be on your practice squad.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what it comes down to, man. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to shake out. You got to remember this. The team currently has a lot of wide receivers under contract. But there's got to be some people who rise to the top. And he could be one of those guys. From what I heard, he looked very, very impressive. A lot of people thought that this guy was him and Fink were the guys that they liked to maybe beat out at what is his name? Trent Taylor. So why wasn't Taylor starting in that game over Craycraft? And
I think he was out too.
He was out also?
I think everybody was out that game.
I'm just sitting here thinking about, like, as I'm talking, I'm like, wait a minute. Did he get a start over Taylor? Like, what is happening?
Well, actually, no. Maybe he was in that game, but he played the slot role.
Yeah, I remember him.
Slot.
And I remember at a certain point, maybe even by the end of it, that guy was leading the team in targets. And I remember picking up someone in fantasy. I think it might have been like Richie James. I picked up in fantasy that week. I was like, what the hell? I wanted a reason to watch the game and cheer for something separate. So let me pick up Richie James. And they were just targeting Craycraft the whole time. It was really, really annoying me. So, it is what it is, man. But yeah, so he signed his 1-year extension. Congratulations to the young man. And hopefully when he gets in there, he impresses and makes some noise, Make a name for yourself. Guys, you got to remember that's how Kendrick Bourne got to start here. He was a nobody. People say, oh, this guy's just going to be a camp body. And here he is 5 years later, 4 years later, whatever it is. And he played out the extension. He played out the contract. He got the what is it called? Not what's the word? He got the restricted free agency tag.
Yeah.
Played under that. Like he's been here, and now there's people who are saying, you know what? Wouldn't be mad if the team brought him back. So not everybody is that guy that's drafted. Okay, so it was pretty cool to see. Some other news from the team was the list of coaches. I don't think we've done a show since that list came out, Tony. Do we have a graphic for the coaches list? I don't think we do.
You had it when we did the breaking news, I think.
I don't see it here anymore.
It was the two links that were exactly the same, but they were laid out different.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We didn't actually display it. We used it though. We read off of it. Was there anything on that list that you wanted to discuss concerning some changes in the coaching staff? Because let me tell you, man, these coaches, I kind of like what the team is doing, specifically from the defensive side of the ball. You look at the D'Amico Ryans promotion, and all of a sudden they're bringing in all these guys who have a lot of familiarity with what he's going to be asked to do to help this first-time DC throughout this process. Enough can't be said about that. There are a lot of guys who have pride and say, I'm not going to be out there coaching at a positional coach for this guy, and he has no idea what he's doing. There are guys who would snub their nose at something like that. I should be the defensive coordinator, not that guy. And you see the team going out and getting selfless guys, and they're building guys up from the inside. We even saw them do that with John Lynch as a first-time GM. They went and got two guys who had previously been GMs and put them under him, and now he was getting a shot back at it again. And you have veterans and people who have been in the league scouting and putting together teams for a long time, even with Adam Peters. You know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on the additional coaches that were officially announced?
Well, I like Kyle's theory in bringing in coaches to replace ones that left for promotion or just went to another job, etc. So what he does is he handpicks young talented guys. I'm going to tell you, like Leonard Hankerson, who played for Washington when Kyle was there with his father. He knows Kyle in and out. He knows how he likes things. He knows how he likes the routes run. So this guy came in as an offensive quality control coach on the offensive side of the ball. So this is going to be someone that Kyle's going to eventually groom to have a larger role in his coaching staff 3-4 years down the road. Because let's face it, Mike McDaniel went from a passing game coordinator to the full-out offensive coordinator. You know what the next step is. Head coach.
Yeah.
The guy's a genius. So that's one. They brought in Clay Kubiak as a defensive quality control coach who came from a high school head coaching job, even though we read off the website that it was a college position. It's actually a prep school for high school. Yeah. We already touched on Betcher. We already touched on Forrester. We already touched on Uden, Unden, and Darryl Tapp. With Unden and Betcher, both those guys were previously defensive coordinators. Both of them came from different style defenses. Betcher was a more hybrid 3-4-4-3, a very aggressive front who worked under Todd Bowles in Arizona. And Unlin, his defense was a majority of a 4-3. As far as the aggression, I wasn't too sure, but their coverage was pretty – he had multiple looks. He would do a man, then a zone. He wasn't a cover 3 guy. He was more of a 2-deep guy, cover 2 scheme. So it's going to be interesting because you're going to see this defense is going to go from a more cover 3, cover 4 to multiple fronts now. You might even see 3 down linemen at some fronts. You're going to see a lot of versatility with this defense with bringing in those 2 guys along with D'Amico Ryans. So it's going to be interesting to see. One last guy I just want to touch on. My phone just locked. Give me 1 second. I lost it. Kubiak. I said Scangarello. We know about him. Tap. He worked with Kosaric. Unlin came from the Patriot system under Romeo Crennel. Johnny Holland took over as full linebacker coach instead of just outside linebacker. The one guy that Slowick was brought on as an offensive assistant maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and now he got elevated to the offensive passing game specialist. This could be a guy, along with Brian Fleury, as potential guys that could be taking the offensive coordinator spot if Mike McDaniel leaves. One could be the co-coordinator run game, one could be a passing game, or one of them could just become the full-out offensive coordinator. So I like Kyle's philosophy in elevating his coaches. He grooms them and he brings them up, and when it's time for them to take those larger roles, they're prepared. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And it's going to be something to keep an eye out on, just to see how the team plays different in response to all these new faces in the building. There's a list out there that compares the additions versus the subtractions, and it's a lot of names, a lot of shuffling going around. These guys are going to have to, really come in here and make a name for themselves. So I'm anxious to see how that all plays out. Let's talk some NFL news, man. It's Freestyle Friday, and this was the shock of the day, at least for me. It was defensive end J.J. Watt was released from the Texans. Now, they call it a mutual parting of ways. We as 49er fans know what that's like. But the Texans were basically done with him. He goes in, he gets to announce it first on his page, and he thanks the community and all that. Let's just go ahead and get right to it. Is J.J. Watt coming to the 49ers, Tony?
Well, listen, before I go to that, there's a point in time where we all thought the 49ers organization was dysfunctional. Well, guess what? The Houston Texans passed them and bypassed them by far because this team's a mess. And, you feel bad for a guy like Casario who just took that job where clearly he doesn't have final say. He's fighting with this Easterby guy and the owner. So, it's a tough situation.
Can you imagine taking a job thinking that you have certain pieces in place and then they just say, no, he's leaving. He's not going to be here. But what about my quarterback? I don't know. He might not be here either,
And that's why it was hard for them to find a head coach. That was not a favorable spot. It wasn't like a spot where it's like, oh, my God, I got to go there. It's a great organization. It's well ran. It's a mess. It's a mess. Players don't want to be there, and it's getting around the NFL, and they're going to have a problem. Mm-hmm. But getting back to Watt, someone put out on Twitter, and it actually caught my eye. Watt and D'Amico Ryans played together. So, and there's tons of respect for D'Amico Ryans from Watt. When D'Amico was promoted to defensive coordinator, Watt was the first guy that tweeted something. Quick, hell of a guy, even better of a leader, is going to be an even better coach, blah, 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 whatever. So that's an interesting thing that could potentially tie them. And plus with all the rumors that you're hearing with the other thing, who could be a part of that. I personally think his price is going to be way out of range for the 49ers to bring him in. But I'm not going to say no until it's officially like he's not going to be there. He signs with another team. There's always a chance for anybody. It's just I can't see it happening, especially with all these crazy ass rumors flying around with people part of deals, and it's crazy. But we got to see. But I don't think he ends up as a 49er.
Do you think a 2-year deal that averages $12 million a year is a lot for him?
No, I don't.
Do you think that's out of the 49ers ballpark?
Well, it all depends. There's a lot of dominoes that need to fall before they can talk about that.
I'm just saying, do you think that that makes him
Their
unattainable.
current status with their situation with their financial cap, it's too much. But once the dominoes, and if you know what I'm saying, because I'm not going to say it, but once those dominoes start falling, then they can make their decision. They'll have a clearer view of what they feel the value is for that position, if they can afford him or not. But I will say this: John Lynch loves to invest in the defensive line. That I will say.
He absolutely does, and we'll save that for another show. We'll save it for another show. Everyone's talking about it. Every time someone becomes available, the Niners are going to get this guy. The Niners are going to get this guy. When people are rumored to become available, the Niners are going to get him too. He's coming to San Francisco, or Santa Clara. But it's just, this is something that, until we get other situations figured out, we can't really get our hopes up about. So, here we are, back to it. Guys, listen, it is Freestyle Friday. So we're going to open up the chat, and you guys are going to be able to ask us questions, and we're going to select random questions from the chat and answer some of those questions, okay? So let's see what you guys want us to answer, and we're going to do our best to get to those. I promise you this, we won't be able to answer all of them, but we will do our best to try to go through as many as possible. All right. Some other news for the 49ers, man. I want to talk about the running back position, because with the offensive line being in flux, the guy under center is in flux, that position is in flux. The wide receivers and the running backs seem to me like the two positions with the most certainty. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, I think that's a fair assessment. I do. But the one thing I would say where it's questionable is with the injuries at the running back position. If everyone stays healthy, I think it's a pretty flat out, this is our running back core going forward. But once injuries get, I don't want to say it, but, Jeff Wilson needs to do some, never mind. But
you leave his little legs alone, Tony. So let's talk about the what? Where is this?
No, it's not a sign. JJ Watt came from Wisconsin. He played with Wisconsin.
That's where he's from, I thought. And then he went to
I
Texas.
don't know where he's from there, but I know he went to college there. He played there, as well as his brother.
Okay.
Now, an interesting scenario is.
Oh, they're saying Green Bay. Oh, I get it.
Oh, Green Bay. I don't know. They gotta. I would have to take a look at their cap situation, because that's another team that's pretty not tight, but they got to make some decisions, man. And listen, it's hard to say anything right now because it's not finalized what this cap number is going to be. There's rumors saying 175 is it's legit. 175 is the lowest, but now they're saying 180. I heard a report up to 185. I heard 189. I heard 173 or 178. Like, you're hearing all these numbers. So until that's finalized, you really can't say the situation of teams' caps spaces.
Right. All right. So let's look at these running backs really quick. And thank you, Niner Rick, for the contribution.
Yes, thank you, Niner Rick.
We appreciate that. Let's look at these running backs here. Okay, we got Tevin Coleman, Jerick McKinnon, Jeff Wilson Jr., Raheem Mostert. We have Tyler Gaffney. I believe Gaffney is the last. Did I miss anybody? Let me see. Hold on.
Mostert, Wilson. Are you including everybody, or because Coleman and McKinnon are free agents?
No, I know. I'm just going over everybody. Oh, Hasty. I forgot Hasty. Look at me. All right. So if you want me to take out the free agents, that leaves it with Gaffney, Hasty, Mostert, Walter, and Wilson Jr. Is that running backs room set? Are we missing anything from that running backs room? Like, honestly, if there's a position, we're assuming that everyone's going to be healthy when the season starts. Should the Niners even be looking to sign somebody else right now at that position group?
I mean, this team, the one thing positive about this team, they always look to upgrade. If there's a way to upgrade and they can afford it, I think they do it. But it's not a necessity, but I honestly think they're definitely going to add at least one or two undrafted free agents to the running back. If not, potentially one undrafted free agent and draft somebody in the 7th round if there's somebody truly that they have their eye on.
Austin Walter signed a deal, right?
Yes.
That was this week?
Last week, I think.
Last week? The time passes so strangely because of Twitter, but
yeah, I believe it was last week.
So the running backs. Okay, so let's put our GM caps on here, and we're going into week 1, and you're playing against, I don't know, let's just say Seattle. What 3 running backs are you going into this game with?
I'm going with Jeff Wilson Jr. Probably is the lead. Mostert coming in. And I would go Jermichael Hasty.
What was Hasty's injury? Do you remember?
Collarbone.
Oh, yeah, he's got to come back as a running back. I like the explosiveness he ran with. Oh, man. What game was that he was in? He only played that one game, right?
Yeah. No, I think he played in 2 games, 2 or 3 games, and then he got hurt. His was a clavicle, a broken clavicle. I'm 99% sure. Huh?
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that game. I want to see him play again. The reason I'm asking that is because I saw on Twitter people saying that the Niners should be targeting Todd Gurley or Jones from the Packers, and I can't, for the life of me, figure out why people feel like this should be a thing.
Well, Jones, because God, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, is this just Twitter saying, "Oh, it's a free agent, the Niners should go after him," or do you think that there's some validity to this?
I don't think there is, because I think you could see a team like the Jets, who have a ton of cap space, go hard after Jones, give him a very nice contract, and playing in a system that's very similar to where he was coming from. Okay, let's not forget LaFleur is their new offensive coordinator. His brother LaFleur was the head coach of the Packers. Gurley, I can't see. I can't see them going Gurley. I just don't see the explosiveness in him. He is a good runner in between the tackles, but I can't see him, hitting the outside. The one guy I would consider throwing money at is Jamal Williams from the Packers. I like what he has to offer. He's a bigger physical back who is fast, who can run inside and outside, can catch the ball, can block in the backfield. But if they're going to lose Jones, they might retain Williams to go with Dillon, or they might just turn the reins over to Dillon in Green Bay. I don't know. But if there is a Green Bay running back that I would like to throw a couple bucks, to add to the roster at a couple bucks worth of salary cap space, I would like Jamal Williams.
Yeah, I just didn't get it. Especially the Gurley talk. Like, do people like what's up with our memories? Did Gurley suddenly get new knees and new legs?
The problem is, if you look at Todd Gurley's stats and from a fantasy aspect, he is a good running back. He scored, I think, 11 touchdowns last year. So people look at that and they say, "Oh wow, he's still productive." Well, if you're running him every time inside the 5 to 10 yard line,
right?
Of course, he's going to get into the end zone. But I mean, the one that really boggles my mind is the Jones one from Green Bay. I mean, this guy's going to command top dollar. The 49ers can't afford to invest top dollar at a running back when you have Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., you have an undrafted free agent that's got a ton of potential, and strictly our cap cannot allow us to do that. So the Gurley one, I'm like, yeah, you know what? You sign him to a 1-year deal, base minimum with incentives to earn up to this. Yeah, if you do it, you swing for the fence, you take a shot, and you do it. But I can tell you right now, Jones is not signing for anything less than $8 million a year. I can tell you right now, at least $8 million a year, and that's lowballing it, and that's something we cannot afford.
All right. There was some other league news. Let's jump back to something else here. There was some other league news that happened, and it was an offensive lineman became available. You know what I'm talking about?
Nick Easton.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he was one time a 49er. They traded him for
He never played though, right?
No, he played.
Mm-mm.
He was active. He played the preseason. He made the first cut, but then they traded him for somebody
Before week 1.
Yeah.
I don't think he got any real playing time as a Niner.
I think he might have played week 1.
Now I got to look this up. Now
Something happened and they traded him, or was it a cut down day time?
Let's see here. Here we go. Nick Easton. All right. 3.3 49ers. So this guy is 28 years old. Still got some life in the legs. 6'3", 303. Ravens, Niners, 2015. Also Vikings, 2015. So let's go here. On September 5th, 2015, Easton was acquired by the San Francisco 49ers from the Baltimore Ravens in exchange for a conditional 7th-round pick in the 2016 draft. On October 6th, the team traded Easton to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, so he was active
in exchange for linebacker Gerald Hodges. That's who it was.
Yep,
that's what it was. Oh man, that's what it was. Yeah,
that was it. He was on the active roster. I remember him. I remember seeing it. And then when they traded him, I'm like, what the hell are they doing? And I think what year was that?
That was 2015. I don't think he ever played though. Let me see if he ever played for the Niners. So it looks like he was on the roster. He was here. He was here for
3 weeks, 4 weeks,
3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. Let me see if he actually got any playing time. I'm just going to look at his game log really quick on Pro Football.
But yeah, basically he's a center guard combo guy. He offers versatility. I liked him when he was the 49ers. I was kind of pissed off when they traded him because he was very well regarded when they acquired him. I mean, all the reports on him were he was a great center. He could play guard. So listen,
no games with the Niners.
He wasn't active.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So
nope.
With that being said, I think he could come in and everyone's complaining about we need center and guard depth, the interior line. Listen, you bring him in, you give him a chance to compete. The only reason why he's a free agent is because the Saints are so far over the cap, they got to cut people.
They're starting to cut people already, yes.
So, and that's what's going to be interesting about this offseason. Every time someone comes free, it seems like everybody wants the Niners to go after him. There's going to be a ton of players that are going to be cut soon, and then everyone's going to be like, "Oh my God, go get him! Go get him!" Get him.
Well, that's what's curious to me about this season is that there's only like 3 teams with an abundance of cap space.
Yeah.
And are you telling me that all these free agents are going to go there? At some point, these free agents are going to say, you know what, I got to take a year or 2 deal with somebody so I can make more later. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. It's going to force really good players to take really bad deals just for a year or 2.
Yep.
And then re-up again.
You're going to see a bunch of 1-year deals this year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I see someone, who was that just posted that? Oh, Anthony Karras. Alex Mack should be a target. I'm going to go out and say it is – I'm not going to say it's a lock, but I think Alex Mack will be a 49er and will be the starting center for the 49ers. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I heard it. I'm not reporting from my sources. This is just my opinion. He's at that point of his career where I actually weeks ago compared this to a signing that the 49ers did in 1994 when they added Bart Oates, who was 35, 36 years old from the Giants because the Giants didn't want him no more. They added him to the 49ers offensive line, and they went to the Super Bowl. 100%, if you get a veteran center, it will help this line. And I honestly think if they do keep this line intact and they add Mack, I think the offensive line as a unit will improve.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot, man. We have I like the Alex Mack thing, and honestly, I like Nick Easton. I really like Nick Easton. I think that the team should be looking at both of those guys. All right. Here's one of our first questions of the night. I don't know. I'm scrolling back up to see if I missed any, but do you guys think we should bring back Frank Gore on the vet minimum? Alden Smith. What about getting intel on the Lambs by nabbing Todd Gurley? Can't we tag Juice as a running back? All right, there's a lot here. Tony, you can give a detailed answer. I'm going to give my quick answers here. In order, no, and no. I would tag Juice as a fullback, not as a running back, and save $5-6 million. All right, Tony, what are your thoughts on the questions as I look for other questions in this?
Frank Gore is my man. He's one of my favorite all-time 49ers. I, on the other hand, would bring him back. That's just my opinion. Bring him, give him a chance to compete. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. He could retire as a 49er. That's just my opinion on it. Aldon Smith, he played pretty damn well with Dallas. But I will say this. It's very early, and there's rumors flying about packages for players. The 49ers might have to go after Aldon Smith and give him an opportunity to compete to be a starting defensive end in his team. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to go out there, but with all these crazy-ass rumors flying, you don't know what the hell is true, but I hope they're not true, but whatever. Aldon Smith could be in the team's picture depending on salary and depending on once those dominoes fall. And Todd Gurley, I don't think we need intel. Didn't we sweep the Rams last year?
All right. Yeah, we did.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
I see John V just put a question in there. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I'm still scrolling down from the one that we just took off. I'm just looking through to see if there's any other questions. I will get to them. Here's one here from Anthony again. Did you see Nick Chubb or Hunt get injured? Nope. Oh, wait, never mind. That's not a real question. He's talking to somebody else. My bad. Yeah, Ray Jr. says everybody wants household names to come to the Niners. But that's one thing is that I really enjoyed watching the last 2 seasons because we were making our own names. You know what I'm saying? I like that Raheem Mostert became a guy that other teams were saying, damn, we should have held on to him. I can't tell you how good it felt to be in this area and Eagles fans saying, did you know we had that guy? Did you know we had him and we let him go? We're fucking idiots now. Like that felt good to hear people saying that about someone that the Niners, I won't say discovered, but someone that we gave the opportunity to, people complimenting on Debo and Kittle and Ayuk, like those are the things like that feel good to me. I understand that we want to go out there and get those guys, but it's a different sense of pride for me when it's like guys that we put on. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, really like that, man. I really like that. Let me see. I'm still looking here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's this one. Well, I keep looking. Should we release McGlinchey?
Well, in order to trade him, you need a partner to trade with. And I don't know if there's much interest in McGlinchey. As far as release him, I would have to look at his contract, his dead cap number, what it would be if they do decide to release him. But now if you release him, who takes over a right tackle? There could be a scenario where if they do decide to move on, I think Brunskill would be the first opportunity to take over the right tackle spot. But, it's all about numbers, man. It's all about getting the cap, getting under the cap, being able to keep the nucleus of his team together, and adding pieces here and there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What's interesting about this, he put later on replace. I think it was today, Tony, you and I were discussing like McGlinchey briefly while we were on the phone. And I said that, I think McGlinchey, if he just forget putting on weight, forget working on his hands, if he learned to set his base the right way, I think McGlinchey will be everything we hoped he would be on this team.
Yes, I agree with you. I think he needs work on his technique. Time after time, I've seen him on tape, on film, on games, watching it live, lunging at the defender. You can't lunge at the defender because once you miss, you're done. He's got you beat. You can't do nothing but try to grab him and tackle him. So his technique is off. I mean, he was never a perfect technique player coming out of Notre Dame. That was a knock against him. But, I mean, if he adds maybe 10 more pounds and he works on his technique, he keeps his base solid, doesn't lunge, let the defender come to him in pass protection, I think he could turn it around. Second thing on McGlinchey, I think our quarterbacks did not help him. The quarterbacks did not help him. They held the ball. They stand in a pocket. They really don't move. They don't create. Like they don't like if an edge rusher's got a beeline, they don't step up in a pocket and try to go underneath and create more time. They just stood there, and that put a lot of pressure. And you've seen it versus the Eagles, where Trent Williams got beat for a sack, and then Trent Williams turned right around and looked at Nick Mullins and raised his hand like, "What are you doing here?"
Right.
So it's not an excuse, but there's three sides to a story. So there's mine, there's his, and there's the truth. So you got to look at it. You got to look at it from every angle. You can't just be like fixated on McGlinchey because there could be other things going on as well.
Right. I do think that he will be back this season, but this will be the defining season, obviously, of his career with the 49ers. And this is the year of projection. He's either going to go up or he's going to go down. If he's going down, his days are numbered. So that I think that. John V asked a question here. Tony, Mike, how do you guys feel about Corey Linsley from Green Bay? He is the center over there, or was, or should be. I don't know how you want to explain it, but I'm not against him. What are your thoughts on Corey Linsley, Tony?
I think right now he's the best center in the league. Between him and J.C. Treader from the Browns. I think he's out of our price range, Lindsey. I really do. I mean, that would be a dream. And I know Kyle has invested big in centers.
Right.
He did it in Atlanta when he brought Mack from Cleveland to Atlanta. He did it here when he brought Weston Richburg to the 49ers. So
Green Bay's not letting him go, right?
You don't know. He could be out of their price range too. It all depends, Mike. We don't know what the cap is. We don't know. It's too early to tell, but I just think his number will be too high. And a perfect candidate for him is the New York Jets. Perfect.
I can't see Green Bay letting this guy go. I understand that, what hasn't been done yet, but I can't see it. He's 29 years old, and you know where he's coming from, right? The Ohio State. That's my school, right? But like this, I just can't see. I can't see them letting this guy go, man. He's a stud. He's intelligent. That's what separates it for me. It's like watching him assist in the offense. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what really. I think that's what we need. We need the guy that's gonna help the quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
It's not only that; it's helping the interior of the line. Your right and left guard. You have a good center that knows things, that knows how to read the defense, knows how to call protections and audible the protections, and knows what to in front and preparation and studying of film. You have a veteran center, your interior line is going to be strong. I don't care who you have at guards.
Yeah,
they know what to see. They know what they're looking for. They know majority of the time what is coming. And that's why it's important to Kyle Shanahan and his offense. Center is the most important position other than the left tackle.
Absolutely. And in normal circumstances, you have the advantage on the offensive line. You're usually going up against 4 versus the 5 of you guys. And so if you have someone that can communicate in the middle, you're getting the help on the side that you need it on. Like Tony said, the guards, not that they're irrelevant, because I don't want to say that at all, but the guards have some good help if there's a good center in there. Tony, this is a really good question from Diesel Elliott here. I really like this question. Do you think Scangarello has a say on the next quarterback? This is a really, really good question. And I'm going to let you go first so you can be the person to break the
I don't think he has a say. I don't think he has a say, but I think he was brought in to prepare whatever quarterback they decide to go with. That's why I think he's a better teacher in X and O's, and he has a better work ethic with the individual quarterback than I think Shane Day had. Like you saw like a drop off in all the quarterbacks play once Scangarello left. I mean, I think we could agree on that. When Scangarello was here and we beat Oakland at the time when they were in Oakland, Scangarello was a part of that staff. He prepared Nick Mullins for that game. And Nick Mullins in that game, compared to what the hell we saw from Nick Mullins this year, there's a night and day difference. So it's going to be interesting if the quarterback play does take a turn. And that's all I'm saying about the quarterbacks. Shh.
All right. Now, here's my take on this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was Scangarello the guy that was credited for finding Nick Mullins? Wasn't that him?
Yes, he was involved in
not so much finding him, but like they had a couple of quarterbacks on the roster.
Yes.
And he was the one.
They had a couple quarterbacks they were going after as undrafted free agents. And Scangarello said, let's go get Nick Mullins. Of course, working with the scouts and all that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
He preferred Nick Mullins. That's the word.
Okay. And that is going to take me back to the question. You think he has a say, not the say, but a say on the next quarterback? I'm going to say yes. I think the team realized his value after he left with everything Tony just said. And I think that the team is going to value his eye. I think they're going to let him get there and see these guys at these workouts. Don't be surprised. There was the workout today for Trevor Lawrence. Was that today? And I didn't see who exactly was there from the 49ers.
Strictly scouts. It wasn't any coaches.
No coaches? Okay. All right. But they also know that he's out of reach. So that's why we're not going to waste time sending somebody there like that. But for the guys that are in reach, when those pro days come up, I would not be surprised to see or hear that Scangarello is at some of these things, to see what these guys are doing in person, to get a better feel for them. So I do think that he's going to have a say. Now, he's not, again, not the say. They're not going to – if he says no, it doesn't take a guy off the table.
He's definitely going to share his opinion if that's what we're trying to get at.
Right.
Definitely. I mean, that's the job of every coach. When I coach –
But they're going to value that opinion. I'm not saying that he is the end-all, be-all, but they're going to value what he has to say about the position.
Yeah, like when I coached, like my buddy who was the head coach, he would come to me and say, listen, who do you think is the better fit for this position? Who do you think does it better? Who do you think can do it better? Who do you think will be better? Who do you think you can get the most out of? Like all that stuff. So I had my opinion, but it came down to his final answer, his final decision. So
right. John V, the answer is going to be Lindsey is going to be more expensive than Mac. I absolutely
a lot more
expensive. Yeah.
I said it before, John. That was John, right?
Yeah, John V. Yep.
John V. By the way, happy belated birthday. It was a couple days ago. I just said about 10, 15 minutes ago, I think Alex Mack is definitely going to be a 49er. It's not me doing the rumor thing or my source. I'm just telling you straight up. It's a gut feeling. I think he will be a 49er. But that's it.
All right. Let's see what other questions are out here. This is a question. What do you make out of this?
AJ Bouye. I don't know.
Did we discuss this?
No, we did not. I don't know. I think his best is behind him, but because of our situation, our current situation in our secondary, you gotta look. Like you gotta, if you will, kick the tires on players because right now it's bare minimum, man.
He's not coming here.
I don't think so either, but it's something like you see his name pop up on the waiver wire. Listen, throw a film on, see what he has to offer. They do every time someone's released, Mike. There's someone in that organization at the pro player personnel department on the Rand Carthon. They're looking at shit. They're looking at players that are free agents. They're looking at players that are going to be free agents in 2022. That's their job. So I'm sure they're going to take a look at it and evaluate a quickie, do a quickie overall. But and I don't think so. I'm
gonna tell you why he's not coming back next year. And it's not because he's going to be 30 by the time the season starts. The 49ers have people in certain places throughout the NFL. They have trusted. What was the term that Harbaugh called people? He didn't call them like friends. He was like trusted agents. Was that the Harbaugh term? Trusted agents.
Harbaugh said was like fucking through the roof.
They have trusted agents throughout the NFL. One of those guys is Joe Woods. Where's Joe Woods?
Cleveland.
Oh shit! I didn't mean Joe Woods. What's the guy's name with the Broncos?
Fangio?
Oh my God. Huh?
Fangio?
No, it's not Fangio. Oh, damn it. I might have just made a big mistake. AJ Bouye was just cut by the Broncos, right? They traded for him last year. They cut him this year. Right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that where Bouye's coming from? No. Let me look this up. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Bouye came from Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville to Houston or Houston to Jacksonville, vice versa. And to be honest with you, I think our current defensive backs coach.
No way. I swear to God, he was with the Broncos. Hold on.
Yeah, he was with the Broncos last year.
That's who cut him, right? The Broncos just cut him.
I'm saying prior to that.
I thought there was somebody on the Broncos coaching staff.
The only guy that was on the coaching staff was Scangarello.
What's that?
Scangarello was the offensive coordinator.
Scangarello just came from over there. That's God. Okay, that's who I was thinking of. What? Who did I say? Oh, I said Joe Woods, the secondary coach who was in Cleveland.
Well, Joe Woods did come from Denver, but before.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I see what my stupid brain did. All right, but it's all good. I think that there's inside information in the building already for Boye and his abilities. I don't think he's coming. That's what I was going around. That's what I was building up the dramatic, and then I messed up. But that's what I was trying to say there. Thanks for the contribution. By the way,
you have another contribution. I don't know if you see it.
The $14.99.
Yeah, that's from I think John V. Again.
Let me find it. Hold on. Here we go, fellas. With the ceiling and restrictions due to the cap, whatever it may be, do you think free agent studs will take less now to compete and restructure for more later, or is everyone going to New York? Well, this is what we touched on a little bit earlier, John. I thought we talked about this, right? Wasn't that was on this show, right?
You're going to see a lot of one-year deals this year. Listen, it all depends on what the final cap number is. If it goes up $10 million, and you got a team that's teetering like around 22 right now, and the $10 million and push them to 32, you could see them spend money. But for a team that has like $3 million in cap space, it only goes up 10, brings you to 13. You can't afford to do long-term deals unless you severely backload it. And I mean severely backload it. That's something I hope we do not do, like severely backloading a deal to bring in somebody. But, I mean, it is what it is. But, John, thank you for the $14.99 contribution. Yeah, so it's going to be a bunch of one-year deals this year, I think.
Yeah. We definitely did talk about that already. And I agree with you, man. I can't help but think that with the cap being the way it is, I understand that the Colts have a lot of money and like the Jets, but the teams, these players aren't going to want to just go there. They're not just going to want to go there. They're going to want to go other places because they're going to feel like other teams have a better shot at winning a ring. They're going to trust certain coaches and certain rosters more than that. And they're going to feel like I can get some more recognition if I go here. So I don't know for sure that that's what's going to happen. These guys aren't going to take long-term deals just with any team that has a lot of cap space. I think, like what Tony said, a lot of small deals. We'll get our money, and then we'll get out, and then we'll get the long, big deal afterwards. All right. We'll do a couple more questions, make this thing an hour, and we'll get up out of here. But, John, thanks for the contribution, man. We really, really appreciate it. This one, since I have it on the screen here, from Brandon Greenlaw. And in relation to Dre, what are your guys' thoughts on Cincy young stud defensive end Lawson? Yeah, he's talking about Carl Lawson, man. As huge upside replacement for D Ford, currently my first choice. This guy's like 25 years old. Is he even 26 yet? 25, 26? This is a really good player right here. What are your thoughts on him, Tony? I see you getting excited over there.
I think we spoke about him before. Brandon, did you hear this about on one of our previous shows that I've mentioned him? He is a guy, I think Shaq Barrett's going to break the bank this year from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Definitely. He's the top pass rusher coming off the board. The teams are going to have to back up a Brinks truck for that guy. I think potentially this guy potentially could slip under the radar if a team like Jacksonville or Jets who have an abundance of cap space don't just throw money at him. This guy, if you put him on a talented defensive line next to a Bosa, next to a Kinlaw with an Eric Armstead, and D Ford decides to, again, I'm not reporting this, but decides to retire or the team decides to move on from him.
Ford is not retiring, guys.
This is an ideal candidate to replace him. This guy is a beast. He played at Auburn just like D Ford, same type of rusher, not as fast, but a lot more powerful than D Ford.
I think people sleep on Lawson's speed, man. This guy, he's a 6'2" guy. I
We
like
can get him. And I'll be honest with you, Brandon, there were rumors that the team was interested in trading for him before the trade deadline. So it says something. Hopefully, and listen, you know who we added to the staff as an assistant defensive line coach? That guy matches up with this guy very well.
I would love to get Carl Lawson here. And like I said, you guys know me. I talk about the future of the team. You know what I'm saying? This guy, like I said, is 25 years old. He'll be 26 by the time the season comes around. I just Googled him really quick. His birthday is June 29th, but he is 25. But like this guy, I mean, look, he doesn't have anything that's going to make him not a fit for the 49ers. The ability is there. The speed's there. He's got enough power to do everything that you want him to do off the edge.
And that's the thing. His skill set fits the wide nine.
Yes. And you put him with a coach like Kosaric, and like you said, the new guy that we just hired, you put him here, and the new guy is going to be someone that he can look up to because of the build and the way they play.
Very same in stature.
Right. It's not so much. I don't know what the new guy is going to bring as far as philosophy to the table, but when you compare their style of play and everything and their size and their build, that's a very, very good comparison. And he's only got 20 career sacks in 4 years. So he doesn't have any of these off the chart numbers that are going to make people say, hey, the Niners can't afford him. This is the perfect candidate for the 49ers and a solid choice, by the way. I could see him coming here and being 8+ sack guy every single season. Every single season.
And you know what, Brandon? We're going to try to work on a nice free agent special. We're going to do a show on free agency, and I'm going to come up my list of players. I'm sure Mike will and all the other guys will as well. And I threw 3 players out on this show. He's one of them that are going to be on my list. So, you know, good eye finding that guy, you know, good eye of catching him and his talent and how he could fit in this defense. You know, that's good. You know your football.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really good. I really, really like that question, man. That was a phenomenal question. Let me see if there are any other ones here. I'm going to go to the bottom and I'm going to work my way up because if I don't do that, we aren't going to catch them all. Let's see what we got here. He got me excited on the Lawson talk, man.
And Donato.
No problem, John. I see he's apologizing. No. I just wasn't sure. Tony and I talk on the phone a lot, guys. You guys would be disgusted, honestly, if you heard how much we speak on the phone. And so I shows, conversations, you know, it's just they start to merge together. And so I wasn't sure what I was talking about. So it's all good. Scangarello came from Philly. Malik Hooker. Scangarello came from the Eagles. St. Beatles. Boye was in Denver. All right, so I don't think we missed any questions. Look at that.
Thanks, Ray.
Look at that. Oh, man, shots fired. Talking about me? Don't write Trent off yet. All right, let's talk about this, man. Here, I don't see any questions in here, so I'm going to ask you a question, Tony. And I think we talked about this in the chat. I don't think we did it on the show. Orlando Brown Jr., former right tackle. Okay. Tunsil goes down. He filled in for Tunsil. Plays, in my opinion, at an all-pro level. Young guy, once out of Baltimore. Now, here's what Baltimore found out this year. Our left tackle went down. We plugged in our right tackle. He played great. The right tackle played above average. We have a right tackle. We have 2 left tackles now. We have a surplus. And the market is saying, all right, guys, now what are we going to do? So I'm going to ask you this question straight up. Should the Niners forget about Trent Williams because he's a short-term Band-Aid and just try to pry Orlando Brown Jr. from the Baltimore Ravens?
Should they?
Yes, should they?
Should they?
Not will they. Should they?
I'll say this: they should consider it. But now here's the issue. Okay, and we spoke about this in the chat and on the phone. Everybody wants the team to go after an individual. I'm just going to say his name. Where everyone wants to go after Deshaun Watson, right? Deshaun Watson.
You did it. Wait. Because you did it, I get to do my thing now. Hold on. Give me 3 seconds, and then you can talk. Hold on. Boom. There it is. All right, go ahead. You can talk now.
Okay. Everybody wants to go after Deshaun Watson. All right, take it down.
All right, fine.
All right. So in order to bring him here, you're going to have to send multiple picks to bring him here. That's all I'm saying is draft picks. I'm not going into names, but draft picks and potentially maybe a player or something like that. But it's going to cost you a decent amount of draft picks. So you bring in your guy, you lose your draft picks, and if you trade a player, now you have to replace that position of the player that you traded. Then you have to replace you have to find a way to replenish or refill or restock your roster with less draft picks. Meaning we're probably not going to have ones, we're probably not going to have twos, so you'd have to depend on threes and later. Now you're talking about trading for Orlando Brown, which could be I think it's going to cost at least a one to get him because of his versatility to play the left and the right. But you're trading too much away now, and you're leaving yourself with not enough ammunition to refill this roster because in their situation, in their predicament right now, their best way to refill this roster is using the drafted and undrafted free agents because they're the cheapest and the most cost-efficient way to do it. Now
he's 24 years old, bro.
Who?
Brown.
No, I'm not saying the age is an issue, but it's going to cost you something to bring him in, right? So let's say you package you can't even package a one because if you trade for the other guy, you don't have a one. So let's say you package multiple twos, right? Just hypothetically. So now you don't have twos for 21, 22, and 23. So now you use ones and twos for 3 years, right? So now you depend on 3 and later to replenish this roster. It's tough to find. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's tough to find top-tier talent in the latter part of the rounds. Again, it's not impossible. So getting back to Trent Williams, that is one option. If they feel Trent Williams is out of range, George Manzo brought up this guy I spoke about a couple weeks ago, Alejandro Villanueva. He's 31 years old. He played left tackle, I believe, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I think he played left tackle. That's a person that you could bring in on a more affordable deal to play left tackle for the 49ers. He's versatile. He could play right. He could play left. He has the ability to get down to the second level. He's a decent pass protector. So the money, it's not going to cripple you the way Trent Williams would. If he goes to the market, the Colts are going to throw the bank at him because they don't have a left tackle right now. So
he's a free agent, right?
He is who?
Is Villanueva.
Yes, he's a free agent. That's one route you could go. You can go a route in the draft to draft a tackle, but again, if you make the big move for the quarterback, you don't have the assets to go get the tackle. So that's why it's very tough. And listen, the player that they're talking about is a great quarterback, but we are not one quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl.
I think we're one quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl if we can keep the pieces here. I think
that's the problem.
I think if we keep what we have here now.
Okay. But there's multiple names being rumored to be a part of this deal.
No. So okay, let's do this for a second. Because all those rumors, you got a cherry pit in your cup, bro? Like, what's going on with you? Oh my God. All those rumors that Tony is talking about, especially with the whole Bosa thing, that was never a rumor from the Texan side. That was never a rumor from the 49er side. What happened was a beat writer or someone wrote and literally tweeted out, would you even consider throwing in a Nick Bosa? And that's how Nick Bosa's name got thrown into all this. Then you have the random Texans beat writer saying that they want 3 firsts and 2 starters on defense. People assume that when they say starters on defense, they're talking about your best players on defense. They just said starters. They didn't say, Emmanuel Mosley is a starter. You get what I'm saying? They never said it has to be your best guys plus 3 first to get this guy from. That's never what the conversation was. But unfortunately, that's what it's become on Twitter. On Twitter right now, it's would you give up 3 first and Bosa and Fred Warner? Because that's what they said. They want defensive guys. That's never, ever, ever, ever what they said. Just to be clear here, that's never what they said. So you can finish your thought there, bro. But I just want to make it clear, like that was not the case at all.
No, I'm just going. Like I said, I'm just going by what's being thrown out there. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh
I don't know what they're gonna do.
One of the best seasons from the Ravens.
Sorry, it's me watching Orlando Brown at the left tackle position. I get excited watching this guy, man. People should really, really watch him, man. He looked good on the left side. People are saying, "Oh, he can't get downfield like Trent." Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He's a mean, nasty SOB. This dude, he's a big, nasty mother sucker. I like him. I really, really like him. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, and I didn't.
No, you're good. That's pretty much it. That's all I have as far as that. Bam, send the damn question, bro.
Right. Come on, write the question. We'll be looking for the next comment from Bam Bam. Oh, wait. This is not what they said. They didn't say your best 2 young defense. That's not what was said.
They said 2 defensive starters.
2 defensive starters. That was it. They did not say your 2 best defensive players because that could be. Think about this for a second. Why would they say that as what they're looking for when every team has different best 2 defensive players at different positions? You get what I'm saying? Like they might not. Huh?
Yeah. No, I agree. I understand. There's no way in hell they're getting our 2 best defensive players. I can tell you that right now. I would slam that phone so hard it would break.
This is a really good question here from Mark. I like this question a lot. Would you rather trade up for one of the big 3 and keep Bosa or go all in on Watson? I like this question a lot. I like it a whole lot, Tony. Because this was something that we thought about doing on tonight's show, finding a solution for the quarterback position. But we said that we were going to take a break from that position. So I like this question. You want me to go first?
Go right ahead.
Okay. I'm going to say this. If I had to choose between these 2, I would prefer the Niners to move up. If they're going to trade up for somebody and get them, they really feel like that is the guy, not a guy. And I am 100% okay with the team swinging and missing as long as they are trying. This sitting back idle and watching these players just come and go and go to different teams and all that bothers me, especially if I think that the Niners were in on these guys. So you hear about them being in on Tom Brady last year, but they didn't get him, right? There are people who think that they were in on Matt Stafford, but didn't get him, right? We can't keep doing that. We can't keep doing it, okay? Pick a guy, identify him, and if you're willing to move up in the draft, it's going to cost you less than 3 first, no matter where you're trying to move to from 12 all the way up. No matter where you're trying to move in that, it's not going to cost you 3 first and 2 players. And so I say make the move up and get your young guy that you make a household name. I talked about 20 minutes ago how I felt a different sense of pride of people saying, oh, man, Raheem Mostert was really good, or, Debo was really, really good. Like, I felt different than hearing, man, Randy Moss ran a nice route for you guys tonight. Yeah, but Randy Moss was Randy Moss. Like, I didn't want to hear that. I like hearing about the homegrown talent from the 49ers. So go into the draft and get me another guy, and let's do it that way. That's my answer.
Now, when Mark says, and would you rather trade up for one of the big 3, not including Lawrence, and keep Bosa or go all in and get Watson? Going all in, is he meaning trading your Bosa or whatever?
Yeah, and in his eyes, it's going to take Bosa to go with him also. That's exactly what he means. Come on, answer the question. It's right there.
Listen, you want the proven commodity, in my opinion, but I just can't see mortgaging multiple picks plus a player Bosa's I don't want to. I said I don't want to talk about this, but I can't see them doing that.
We're here now.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough predicament to be in that front office right now. I do think they have a plan. My only thing is I hope Lynch doesn't panic and do something stupid.
He can't panic. He's not gonna. What's wrong with us going after Clowney? He's cheap and still have something left in the tank.
When he's on the field.
Dun, dun, dun. That's it.
Personally, I'd rather go with Alden Smith.
That's it.
Thank you for the contribution.
Yeah. From one Michael to another, listen, when you're looking at just the talent, I understand why people get excited about him. But there's been rumors and issues with him quitting on series or in series and taking plays off and stuff like that. There's health issues, and then there was a part. I know people don't remember this. There was a part of him. There was a time where people were saying that he was faking injuries just so he didn't have to play. I remember that in his Houston days. Okay, I can't get behind a guy like that personally. I can't get behind a guy like that. So, that's my take on it all. I've just never been a Clowney guy, and his talent is undeniable. I want to be clear here. That speed off the edge, I think he would be more if he was the motivated guy and was not going to take a play off. I think he would be a better D Ford than what D Ford was when active and healthy. All right, but I don't think you can motivate a guy like him.
I'll tell you what. The sad thing is the money that he probably would command.
Yeah,
you can get Carl Lawson in a minute.
Yeah. Imagine if this guy went out there and played the way he was supposed to play, down in and down out. He would be the highest paid defensive player probably in history. But he's got to apply himself, man. And I'm not taking the bait. I'm not biting. So that's my personal take on him. Mike, thanks for the contribution, bro. We really appreciate it, man. And everybody else out there, let me see if I missed any contributions here. We got Bam Bam, and the next one was Mike. So I think that's it. That's going to do it for us here tonight, man. I'm just slowly going down the rest of these, and I believe we are done. We didn't get any questions from any of our female supporters out there tonight, Tony. We let them down. We let them down. Sorry. All right. Listen, guys. What did you say?
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it. Uh-oh. All right, Tony, you ready?
When do you think the D-Watt will be? If he's going to the Niners, it must be done before the draft. They need, honestly, but it's got to be done. It's got to be agreed to and in place before the new league year.
It's not just for the Niners. That's for any team.
Well, I think especially for the Niners because
of Jimmy's salary and stuff like that.
Exactly. You're talking about now manipulating the cap, moving contracts and stuff like that. And potentially if they do decide to go Watson's route, extending him, lowering his cap number even more this year, giving him a cash signing bonus, stretch it over to 5 or 6 years that you extend them or add it on 2 years to the contract and to lower his number. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, if I was the GM of the 49ers, I would want it done before the new league year. And then once the new league year starts, it's made official, and that's it. Then that's your name, that's your main domino. The main domino falls, you're ready.
Yeah. All right. I like it. I won't touch on it, man. I won't touch it. I agree with what Tony said. It has to be before the draft. That's it. It has to be. Too much hanging on it. You know. Honestly, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a slightly different answer. I think it needs to happen early in free agency because that's going to affect whether you get Watson or not. It's going to affect what you can do in free agency. You know what I'm saying? So I really, really think that this has to happen. It absolutely has to happen before all of that starts at the first day of free agency. Like it can't be a move that you make much, much later. You can't. All right. So that's what I got there, man. Jaeger, thanks for the contribution, man. You guys have been awesome tonight. That's gonna do it for us, Tony. Man, let's get up out of here, man. Any final thoughts from you, man? Let's take it home. By the way, I know I said it before. I'm very, very happy that the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. All right, go ahead, Tony. Any final thoughts from you, bro?
No, man. I'm just keep your alerts set. You know, it's gonna be a very, very busy offseason, not only for the Niners but for other teams. So just pay attention and keep your eyes out. And, you know, just don't go too crazy with Twitter with all these reports and these rumors and stuff like that. Just, you know, I know people get excited, but just try to stay calm. Everything's going to fall in place.
Yeah, it will. It will. Guys, it's going to do it for us tonight, man. I want to thank you guys. My final thoughts are going to be similar to what Tony said. I feel like, hey, is saying don't get your panties in a bunch offensive?
Not at all.
No?
Don't get crazy, man.
Yeah. Don't get too caught up on what you read online, man. Take your time. Take it in for what it's worth. Put your thoughts to it and then let it go. You can't control anything else. You can't control what people say, can't control what people write, and you can't you can't control how people react to what they read. So you just got to let it go and go with the flow, guys. Don't stress about it, all right? If it's anything official, I promise you guys will hear from us. Maybe not first, but soon after. I promise you that, okay? So have those alerts set. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you all for rocking out with us. Renee is in the chat. Thank you now. I wish you guys had said something earlier. I would like to get some support from the female supporters out there. Miss Debbie was showing love at the beginning, though, so you know it is what it is. Man, I saw Peachy in here also, so shout out to the ladies. We appreciate you guys. All right, prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful. We're out of here, guys. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. Nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners.